The three most important mammals for the corridor are the large mammals. They're particularly susceptible to breaks in connectivity between mountains because their population is already at such a low density. If you have an isolated mountain, their genetic diversity will decline because of inbreeding, and they won't be able to adapt to future changes of climate or other changes that we can't predict now. They'll be more susceptible to diseases because their immune system won't have the diversity that they naturally would have. And the three that we're most concerned about and that live in these areas are the puma, an important predator here, very important to keep that species present in an area. When you lose a top predator like this, the effects ripple down through the whole ecosystem. You get more rats and mice and more rabbits and more deer, and those graze the trees differently. They destroy seedlings, prevent trees from reproducing, and before long the lack of a puma translates into a completely different composition of forest. And the other two large mammals that are important here are the spectacled bear and the very endangered mountain tapir. The spectacled bear wanders widely. It's an important disperser of seeds, so there are trees that require passing through the gut of a bear or a tapir in order to germinate properly or to get away from the mother tree. And the tapir is probably the most endangered of all of these animals, these three animals. They are hunted for meat. They're big animals, big meaty animals. And they're slow to reproduce. They're very vulnerable. They're disappearing from most areas where they live. But in our area, because of the ecotourism, the interest in ecotourism, and because of our protected areas, we've got a decent population of them. So this is one of the best places in the world, really, to maintain a good, healthy population of mountain tapirs. These are the customers for the corridor. These are the animals that we are constructing the corridor for, and I hope they find the corridor attractive, and I hope they use it freely, and we'll do everything we can to make it as easy for them as possible to move from one side of the valley to the other, so that they can find new horizons and keep the genetic diversity high. From now until the 15th of October, all your donations to the World Land Trust's Forest in the Sky appeal will be matched. This means your donation to save threatened habitat in Ecuador will be doubled thanks to funds pledged in advance by a small group of very generous donors.